I'm Jackie. This is Garrett. We almost got divorced. Going through all that made us like how we are now, which is just so much better than you could ever imagine.
When you get through the deepest, darkest part of the night, man, it ain't nothing but sunshine after that.
This is the most important job you'll ever have, and people don't put as much work into it as they should.
We've been married 26 years.
We have 5 adult children and 1 granddaughter. She's so cute.
All right, we're back again. Season 2, episode
4.
How you look like that when you said it?
I'll tell you guys later.
Anyway, this is episode 4, and it is titled
Unpopular Beliefs.
Yep. So we're going to talk about things that are unpopular, and we'll tell you where we stand on each of those points, and they all have to do with marriage and relationships. So let's see what they're all about.
Unpopular belief. Your partner's happiness is not your job.
I agree that your happiness is not my job. I can contribute to your happiness, but it is not my job. I have a job. What do you think?
I think I'm like you. I play a part. I mean, I'm going to do what I can to make you happy, or you happy. And, but, you know, I can't make you happy, right? There's things that you have to decide or look on a certain way. And, you know, this is one, like you said, it's an unpopular belief that it's not your job to make somebody happy. And I agree with that too. I feel like you do your best. You do your best, and you hope the other person sees that you are part of what should make them, you know, at peace.
Unpopular belief. Date nights are a band-aid, not a fix.
I don't know that anyone should be using a date night as a tool to repair anything. So I guess I would believe that if you're attempting a date night to repair or to smooth over an argument, I don't think that's wise.
I agree. Date nights should be something, though. Like, you should have a time of the week away from people, friends, kids.
Away from people.
Yeah. No, I mean, to where you can just focus on each other and do the things that you did before you were married. Now, like you said, are they a Band-Aid? Like you said, they shouldn't be there to solve problems.
For me, when we're somewhere, anywhere that's not at home, I always feel like I don't think about anything that's going on at home, any responsibilities, any problems, any whatever. So I feel like people would probably use that time during their date night as an attempt to not have to focus on the things that maybe are straining the relationship, and maybe that's why.
Yeah, a date night isn't a cure-all. But like you said, it's a time that you set apart, and you shouldn't be on your phone the whole date night. And date night is kind of just a coined phrase, but it's really more about setting apart time for you and another person. And that will go a long way for healing or strengthening the relationship.
Unpopular belief. Marriage isn't about finding the right person. It's about becoming one.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think that people change and they grow and they mature and they grow together. Like, that's the goal, is to grow together, not grow apart. So I don't think you should be changing into something you're not to become the right person for a marriage. Because ultimately, who you are is going to come out. Like, you're still going to be who you are. Not to say that certain things will be less important or more important or whatever, or certain behaviors you might let go, but who you are is something that you should not change. So I do not believe that you should become the right person for marriage. I think that's
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to that. I think it's both. I think marriage is about finding the right person and becoming the right person. I think it's both, because you are going to change, and the vows you made are there to support any changes that happen over time. But I also think that you can't just be out here picking anybody and saying, I see who he can become. I see what she can become.
A problem. That is what they can become.
First of all, you ain't that good a chooser. And second of all, like, you can't tell the future. Like, you don't. So it is about choosing the right person, the person who you just want to be with all the time. And so I think in a marriage, it is, we talked about this before, it is about becoming more one. And we talk about it all the time. Jackie and I feel like we are becoming more one every day. And it's not like we do things that are intentional to keep our relationship strong, but unintentionally, like, we are becoming one. Like, the things we do, the way we think, the things we agree to, we're way more one now than we were when this...
He wants to be me.
I'm bringing her over to my thinking.
Unpopular belief: attraction doesn't just happen, you have to work for it.
So I'm not sure what I believe. I think we went round and around about this one.
Yeah.
So if you have never met a person and you see them from across the room, like, the only thing that you have is what you can see. Now, if you're within earshot of them and you kind of hear how they're speaking to someone, or, you know, their grammar, and, like, that's something different. But all you have is what you can physically see initially. But I feel like if I see someone across the room and I think, wow, they're really handsome or they're really beautiful, and then I get close to them and I spend like 10 minutes talking to them, like, that could become unattractive real quick. Like, I don't think I have a problem with this one either way. Like, I think the appearance is what's going to attract somebody initially.
It is, but, like, let's say somebody
like, I can't see somebody that looks like they fell down the ugly tree and got hit by every branch and be like, I think they would be really attractive if I went over there and spoke with them. Like, that's not saying I wouldn't speak to the person,
what if they're
what
like,
draws you to that
what if
person?
What if they weren't as physically attractive at first, but they weren't ugly either? Do you think there's room to work on that attraction if you got to know them?
I think, like, I've said this about people I encounter day to day. Like, there's people that I would not find, I wouldn't classify them as traditionally handsome or attractive, but I could see why someone would be attracted to them because of their temperament or their personality. But that's not something you know right away. Like, that's something that you grow to know as you interact with the person. So I think once you develop a relationship with whoever and whatever they look like, you might find that you become attracted to somebody in spite of how they appear. But I think initially the struggle for most people is, like, sticker shock, like what they see up front.
So do you think, like, let's say somebody set you up on a blind date. Mm-hmm. You weren't attracted when the guy sat down, and he said, well, I want to remain your friend.
Yes.
And then you guys remained friends, mm-hmm. and he was a really good friend.
I could see something growing from there.
Okay.
Like, I could, yeah. And I would stay on the date. Like, I wouldn't abandon the date.
Because he was ugly.
No. Okay. I'd stay on the date. Are you giving me permission to go on a date?
No. No, I'm just saying, I'm trying to help people out. Because this is not a weird one, it's different in that, like, because most people do believe that, you know, once you see if you're not attracted to a person, there's never going to be anything. And so I don't know. I've always been attracted to people I dated or married. And
how many people have you married?
I always tell you that, like, I don't know what it would be like to be with someone you're not physically attracted to, but I think it's possible. But I don't know. Can I say the quote that I just found out about that I heard the other day?
Yes.
Oh, man. You gotta hear this one. You gotta.
He's probably not even
It's so
saying it
good.
right.
It's so good. When people fall in love with the flower and don't get to know the root, they don't know what to do when autumn comes. So they leave. Isn't that good?
Yes, I told you that multiple times.
So on the flip side of it, like people fall for attraction and good looks all the time, and them roots they don't be
like,
matching.
what's the benefit to me saying I want to date you because you're attractive and not date him because I don't find him attractive? And then, like, what is the benefit to choosing, like, what if you had, like, a terrible attitude and this person treated me way better? What is the actual benefit to dating someone attractive? Like, what is the benefit? That your kids aren't ugly? I mean,
no,
what is the benefit?
I think there's an intimacy aspect of it.
But, like, are you ever going to be physically attracted to someone that treats you like crap?
No, that's different. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
but you could be physically attractive and a terrible human being, which I would then forgo that relationship. But I don't think I could not be physically attracted to you and be as intimate as I would be if you looked like this.
Don't touch me.
Unpopular belief. You need the other person to give you closure. You can't give it to yourself.
Like, what kind of closure? Like, you have to decide. When we were separated, one day I just woke up and I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I have made my peace. I have done all I thought I should do. And I decided to move on. Not like move on with an attractive or unattractive person, but just progress forward. Like, I didn't need for you. I needed to come to terms with it on my own. So I guess I don't feel like I need for you to give me closure, for me to decide it's time. Like, I don't think anyone should need that. Because there wouldn't have been anything you could have said that I would have been like, I finally got this closure.
but I at first I think like that, but then after I think about it a little while, if another person doesn't give me closure, how do I know it's over?
What do you mean?
What if I really like this person and they just try to like ghost me or you, and you don't really know if it's over or not, or if you did something? Like, how do you know?
At some point, like, you can't just keep giving and giving and giving and giving and feel like you're not getting anything back. So that doesn't mean like it's over, but like at a point when you're tired of doing what you're doing, you're going to start doing something else. Now, if that person comes back around, that's where, I guess that's where it gets tricky. Some people just come back around just because they see that you're doing well without them.
Yes.
And then they never let you move on.
Yeah.
And then they're just stuck.
In that case, closure doesn't mean anything. Because that's where I was going to go with it. Like, how many times did me and you break up when we were dating?
I wouldn't say we broke up. I would say we argued.
Yeah, and we said we was never going to see each other again.
Can't believe I'm sitting next to him now. I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Okay, so I guess that was a bad point since you don't remember. I'm glad you don't. But I don't know. I do think you know when it's over. You should know when it's over. But I think there's more to that closure, because you kind of need something finite to move forward, especially when you've given a lot to that relationship. I don't know either. That's why it's unpopular.
Unpopular beliefs. Some arguments in marriage will never be fully resolved, and that's okay.
I believe that is true in some marriages. I believe there is somebody...
All our arguments are unresolved.
I feel like there is somebody sitting around thinking, what is the point in arguing this? Like, she's never going to give, I'm never going to give. we don't agree on this. We're always at odds on this. Like, it doesn't come up often, but when it does come up, we still have the same position. Like, I feel like people eventually pick their battles and the ones worth fighting, and I feel like they are. I don't feel like there's any huge issues
with us
that can remain unresolved. No. I feel like if it's a huge thing, like, I don't think that could remain unresolved. But like little stuff, like it might just be a difference of opinion.
So you're like agreeing to disagree.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But I mean, do you think unresolved arguments are okay?
Depending on the type of argument, like, oh, I like this restaurant. Oh, the restaurant was great. Like, that's low level. But like, if it's over something bigger, like what faith to raise your children in, or what school maybe your kids go to, like, I don't know. I don't think that's okay to leave unresolved.
What if we were different political parties? Is that something that you could?
I don't know. Like, if we were different political parties, I think I would kind of like that. Because I would be able to, like, I could have a conversation with you, and you could answer me, like, the why behind. I've tried to have conversations like that with people in the past, and it turned into this thing where they feel like they have to defend what they believe, when really I just was curious. Like, it wasn't like, why would you support this person or this thing or this, like, it wasn't anything like that. It was just, what about this matters to you? Like, what are the things that you side on? Like, it was more like interest, because we may have some of those things in common. So like, I think we would be people that would respect each other.
Oh, yeah.
In that, like, I don't think that would be a big issue.
Yeah, I think, and I'm having a tough time thinking of any right off the top, but I think there's a few things we probably have that are unresolved, or I wouldn't say that, well, you believe a certain way and I believe a certain way, and we're good with that, right? And I believe one of the best ways to kind of show why you believe or feel the way you feel is not to try to argue someone over to your side. It's more of to just live out and show why, you think that there's things, and I mentioned this before, there's decisions I made that weren't the best decisions, that you said would happen the way it did, that in hindsight, like, your idea was better than mine, but it took me to see that I was wrong, to really see that you were right.
Now he knows.
But that was like 1 out of 99 times.
He better not ask me for nothing else.
We got one thing we resolved.
Unpopular belief: your spouse being annoying is okay.
In my case, it would have to be.
She stay okay.
I think everyone is annoyed by their partner at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
I annoy you?
Are you annoyed right now? Don't lie.
Not right now.
So are y'all always annoyed?
No, it's not him personally. It's just
Your energy.
I got good energy.
Exactly.
It's just
that's a bad thing?
It's
just
ample.
a lot.
It's a little excessive
at the
times.
end of my day.
It really is.
What about the beginning of your day?
It's a lot then too.
It's just y'all.
You need to hit me between noon and 2. Maybe noon and
It's
noon
because
30.
everybody else only sees it like once a week. So they're excited to see it.
So y'all don't be excited to see me?
Every single day.
Of course we are.
I thought annoying and exciting were two different things.
I'm getting worked up from the excitement. There's too much excitement in this room.
I approached this question like there was moments a person was annoying. I didn't realize there was people that were.
I just think,
when I say people, I mean...
I think depending on the events of your day or your mood or something maybe that you're going through or have experienced, or maybe just everything seemed to be a problem for you on a particular day, or you just kept getting stopped at a red light, you left your wallet at home, whatever. Like, then at the end of your day, you're probably annoyed, and the person that's there just happens to. He might not necessarily be annoying. You are just annoyed.
Yeah,
and therefore some of the behavior might be annoying.
But you don't think after all that person could be annoying?
What do you mean?
Like the person who didn't went through all that today.
Oh no, I'm sure they are annoying as well.
So I guess the whole moral of this is yes. Like your spouse can be annoying, and that's okay. That's part of marriage.
Yes.
Right? They shouldn't be annoying more times than they're not annoying.
I have a child whose mission in life is to annoy everyone. Everyone used to just bust in the house just to annoy us. So don't be like that in your relationship.
Yeah. Be leaning into non-annoyance.
Unpopular belief. Social media is doing more damage to your marriage than another person ever could.
I don't think social media is necessarily destroying marriages. I think what people allow or expose themselves to on social media is doing that. Like, I got a handful of people that always say somebody man in they inbox or on their page or on their line or whatever. Like, if that's true, like, if my man is in your inbox, like, that's just the vehicle he's using to destroy his own marriage. It's, I mean, if there was no Facebook, no whatever, TikTok, whatever, like, he would just be, it would be a phone call, it would be a meetup at a Burger King, it would be, you know, at some seedy by the hour hotel. Like, it's just what you choose. Like, that's just easy access to people. But I don't think, I think that's just the vehicle that they're using. The marriage.
But wouldn't you say social media makes it easier to get in that kind of trouble?
It's easier, but, like, their marriage is in trouble anyway if the person's using social media to do that.
But maybe he, like, and this is not me, but I'm just saying.
He's awfully passionate about this.
No, I'm just, hey, hear me out. Maybe he really loves his wife and just, like, you know, he just on Instagram and Instagram models show up. Mm. And then he starts, like, looking at Instagram models. He wasn't looking for them, but they showed up in his feed. And now he got an issue because he want to look at Instagram models and, you know, he wouldn't have had this problem had there been no social medias.
You know what he needs? Help.
What kind of help?
You should ask your wife for help. Hey, I've got this problem. These beautiful Instagram models are in my feed, and I wouldn't have this issue if it wasn't for social media. And I have to look at them now. What do I do?
What kind
Can
of
you
help would
me?
you give me?
A fresh slap upside the head, like Monet said. What do you, like, I don't know, but, like, if you're still hiding it, like, you know something's wrong with it. Like, if you're hiding it.
I'm just saying, like, I would even go out, I don't have any statistics to back this up, but I bet a lot of infidelity starts in the social media space. And so I agree with you that, like, if somebody's out there, you don't need social media to find a woman if you're unhappy at home or whatever. But I can see how, you know, this unpopular belief of social media being more damaging than a person, you know, coming into your relationship. And it may not be a physical relationship. It could be just an addiction or an emotional relationship. But I can see where this unpopular belief is coming from, but I think a real person in the flesh makes a woman a lot more angry. Or a man.
We'll have to test this theory.
Stay off Instagram, fellas.
Unpopular belief. If you and your partner never fight, something is wrong.
If you and your partner never fight, someone is lying, which is wrong.
That's not...
That...
I would say lying.
They're being dishonest. There is no way that everyone agrees with everything all the time. Like he said, that we're very aligned and very attuned to what the other one is thinking. And we see it all the time. Like, in the app that we do every day, like, there'll be a question that will require one answer, and we'll each answer it in like 3 parts, and the answers will be identical. And we haven't discussed it, we haven't talked about it. There's a couple times we haven't even spoken about it afterwards, like, but we don't agree on everything all the time. Like, we are very aligned, we don't agree on everything all the time, which could cause some discord or disagreement or an argument. There's no, I used to work with somebody who told me that them and their spouse never, ever, 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 ever had a fight. Never. And all I could think was, wow, their spouse must be pretending to not be angry every time they are. Because the fact that they thought that they never had a disagreement or never had an argument, never had a fight, means that one of them was giving in or faking the whole time.
I agree. There's not people at work, people at church, people in my family, friends I have, my children. There's not a group of people or a party of people that I am totally aligned in everything on. So it's actually scary to think of a relationship where someone would say that because someone is not speaking up or someone is afraid to speak up and somebody is dominating that relationship. Because how can you just be like, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I wouldn't even want to be with somebody that was just like, yeah, go ahead.
That's why.
But I got the
challenge.
Yeah, I got the way other end of that spectrum for sure. But we work. No, seriously though, I'd like to hear some comments on people in relationships that don't disagree on anything.
Unpopular belief: premarital therapy should be required, not optional.
I don't know how you could compel someone to do that, but I remember when we were separated, we had court-ordered
Therapy, family therapy.
It was court-ordered family therapy, but we had, like, it was a parenting class or something we had to take. And I'm sitting in this class, like, half enraged, half sobbing, thinking, why wouldn't they make us do this before we got married? Like, this should be required.
But
this
we
is
did
crazy.
have premarital counseling.
But we should have had to take that class before. Like, we did have premarital counseling, and I feel like you do need that. Recently, we have friends that we know that were married that went through premarital counseling, and I kind of like laugh with him because I think, did they finish their class? Like, it just, some of the stuff that they've said or done, I'm like, who signed off on this? I think they're not quite finished with their course. But I think it should be required. And I think that parenting class should be required too. It was very helpful information.
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't know how you would implement it, especially when the calls for divorce are, benefit a lot of people that are in the relationship. But, on the front end, there should be just as much effort going into it because, man, I don't know. We had it, and even still, like, I mean, you said this in an earlier podcast, is counseling or therapy doesn't do you any good if you don't take the information or the advice and use it.
Or if you're not honest.
Yep. So you can go through all the therapy you want and say, yep, I'm going to do this. Yep, we're going to do that. Yep, we agree to this. We agree to that. And then get into marriage and not do it. And you're only hurting yourself. So part of it is the type of therapy you get, how good the therapist is, their counselor. And most of it's on you, like how much. But I do think it's required because marriage is supposed to be a lifetime commitment. And you wouldn't just sign off on any other thing that was a lifetime commitment. But for whatever reason, we do with marriage without a lot of information on it.
Unpopular belief: boredom ends more marriages than arguments do.
I think if someone becomes complacent in their marriage and bored, that might cause them to seek fulfillment elsewhere. Whether it's with another person or a hobby, that maybe they end up meeting another person while they're doing this thing. So I could see that. I could see that. I think boredom could lead to arguments. I mean,
But why would you be bored? Not you, but like a person in general. Why would they be bored in a relationship?
like maybe you want to go do something. Maybe you want to have a date night. Maybe you want to have like a shared hobby. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you like have goals. Maybe you whatever. And the other person doesn't want to spend any time with you. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're working all week and you just want to come home and spend time with your significant other, and then your significant other has a million other things to do, or doesn't want to spend time with you, or wants to spend time with their friends and doesn't give the same sort of energy to the relationship, which then leaves you with nothing if you don't have anything. You know what I mean?
But that's what I was going to ask you. What if the partner's not doing any of that and y'all still bored?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say me and you both was at home together. We ain't had nowhere else to be, no friends to call, and we still bored.
We have to do something. Like
But-
together. Do we not want to spend? I mean,
Yeah, maybe you don't have money. Maybe you.
yeah, but you don't have to have money to like.
But I guess what I'm saying is like you can be bored with a person and that person's still there. Like they ain't off and running.
Then I don't know.
What would you do if I was just sitting there and like I don't want to do anything? You wouldn't be like my mama, would you?
I might. No, I wouldn't. I could see you being like that before me being like that.
Hey, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna be there.
So,
All right, yeah. I don't know if boredom ends more marriages than arguments, but I do think they both impact the marriage. I do think it goes back to the date night. It's not a cure, but you have to keep the fire lit somehow. Or like Jackie said, you know, you'll find something else to do if you're bored. What is it? Idle mind is the devil's playground.
mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Idle hands.
Idle hands or mind?
Idle hands.
Idle. See, we don't disagree.
Idle hands are the devil's plaything.
Huh? Plaything?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that,
I
Jack.
think I say it a lot.
Unpopular belief. People change, and sometimes that's a valid reason to leave.
I mean, people do change. Like, you're not going to be the same person at 50 that you were at 15. So, yes, you're going to change to some degree. I don't think someone changing is a valid reason for leaving the relationship unless that change puts you in danger somehow. I don't know, breaks the marital vows, like, and like in danger could be like physical harm, or let's say this person's having like an affair, like then they're putting you, again, it's like a kind of physical harm. They're coming back to you. Like, I think that sort of change, anything can be worked through, I feel like, if you want to work through it. So I guess it just depends on the person.
Yeah, I do think, like, you see people use as the reason to leave a marriage is, I'm different now, and I want out. The things I wanted back then, I don't want now. And I think that's a farce. I feel like you, again, when you fall in love with the root, you know the core of a person. Like, before you get married, you should know the core of a person. And if you know the core of a person, they might grow and they might change or want different things, but at the core, you still love who they are. And so if someone's saying they want out because they've changed, they haven't changed. They just don't want to work. I don't even want to get into the reasons why, but I think it's a cop-out, especially after you made vows. I do agree with Jackie that there are some instances where you need to get out, but I feel like most times saying people change, if that was a prerequisite to marriage, then marriage would not be closed-ended, right? You'd always have a reason to leave. There would be no reason to make vows if we could use change as a reason to get out. So, I don't think that's valid.
Unpopular belief. Your love language is sometimes just an excuse not to try.
I don't really like this one because, like, I couldn't think of a time that anyone would be like, oh, you know, acts of service is my love language, so I'm not gonna bother with physical touch. Like, that just sounds weird. Like, who would say that?
No, but like, let's say my thing is physical touch, and yours is not, and we've identified our love languages, and you could be like, I don't want nothing.
Oh, you mean like to not try to meet the other person?
Yeah, like, I don't, because you know that ain't mine, so that's why I think the unpopular.
That's stupid. Like, you should try to.
You should.
Yeah.
But I could see it being used as a tool. Since you know my love language, I need it every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or since you know I don't like to get gifts, then don't expect none. That's
yeah.
So it could be used as a tool.
Well, that's just dumb.
So how would you counter that?
I don't like this one.
But I mean, what if we kind of do know our love languages, and what if I was like, I can't be acts of service because that's you know, I ain't trying to wash no dishes. Like, how would you deal with that?
Like, I wouldn't care if you didn't do stuff like that, but what I would care about is if I asked you to do something and I had to wait for it to be done. Like, because I don't ask. And if I ask, like, I would expect it to be done.
But what if I said, you know, that's just not my love language, right?
Then me going back and doing the same to you is just retaliation. And that's just...
But how would you
like,
handle that? Would you explain to me that's not how love language is?
I think he wants me to leave on him. I don't think I would have to explain that to you.
Why are you always using real world examples too?
What do you mean?
You always telling me that when I take long to do stuff.
I didn't just say when you take long. I said I would expect if I asked you to do something that it be done.
Yeah.
Because I don't frequently ask for things.
Yeah.
What example did I just give?
That example.
That was generic.
It was.
Do you want me to give an example? Because I got one.
I'm sure
Locked
you do.
and loaded.
I'm sure you do. That's why I said what I said.
But I didn't use an example.
But I knew where you was going.
But I'm like that with anything. Like, I ask you once, maybe twice, and then I'm just not going to ask no more.
How long you going to give a person, though?
I don't know. I'll give him forever. I'll give him forever, and then I'll eventually pay somebody to do it.
I got forever.
I hope he's got a job.
Unpopular belief. When couples fight about money, the money is rarely the problem.
I think I agree with that. I feel like money may be an issue, but like we may be strapped for cash right now. But because we're not having any discord, like we're not we're like united in like getting through whatever financial strain we have at the moment. But if there is discord, then that, you know, appliance replacement or car repair, like it's going to become such a huge thing because of what the actual thing is. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's all, like right now, and we did this in a peer question, we were asked, like, what are we saving for right now? And me and Jackie ripped off a bunch of things that
was one of those multi-answers we gave, and they were the same.
They were the same. And so, like, we're saving for these things that we both are aligned on saving for. And if Jackie thinks I'm spending or I'm getting off the track to save for those things or vice versa, it would just be about that, right? But to your point, it's not going to ruin a relationship. It's just going to be like, hey, we got to get better, or how are we going to afford this, or how are we going to be able to do this? But when you overreact to money issues, I do think it's a deeper underlying meaning. Because I've said it before, when both are happy, people spend money when they're happy. They don't care that they taking their accounts down or whatever. But if every argument is about money, something that can be easily fixed, not easily in some cases, maybe in some cases not, but it's usually more at the root. There's more than money that's driving. It could be the other person ain't working, right? It could be just whatever the choices people have made or somebody's past that put them in the situation. But it's never about the dollar.
Unpopular belief: couples who post each other aren't happy.
I don't think people who post each other aren't happy, but I have.
Ooh, this one hits home.
I have, as of late, noticed an uptick in a couple of people, and I'm like, what are they trying to prove? Like, you've never been this person. It's just bizarre. Like, if you're on social media, you know the thing that's ruining marriages single-handedly. You notice, like, behaviors of people that, you know, appear on your timeline frequently. And when you start to see those things shift, you can attribute it to things that you know are going on. And it's just, it's kind of weird. It's like, I don't not post, but I don't post, like, a lot. I don't feel like if we go somewhere or do something, like, I take pictures. I like to have pictures, but I don't feel like I post as much as I have done in years past. But I don't think that's a sign of whether or not we're happy. Like, but I do feel like sometimes it appears that some people do that. Like, they're trying to show people that they're happy. You know what I mean? Like, like, if you're happy, like, I'm happy for you. Like, you don't need to prove it to anyone. Like, that's for you. But, I don't know. Social media is a weird thing.
Well, like, this one hits close to home because I post all the time about us. And so I have heard people say that, you know, people that post all the time ain't happy. And I would say people post all the time for various reasons. And most of the reason people post are to show a part of their lives that they want seen, whether it's good or bad. Now, I've said before, most people aren't going to post the bad things about their lives. And
some people do.
Some people do, and that's annoying. That might be more annoying. But then, like Jackie said, there are people who post they're in unhappy marriages, but they want people to believe they're happy. And so you'll see things that are posted when you know the real deal going on. But to each his own. Like, social media is just that. It's social media. It's not real life. And so you can take it for what it's worth. I know for me, I post because it is my memories that are captured. And I try to capture everything. I wish we had this earlier so I could have captured our kids at earlier ages and be able to go back and do, you know, the different time lapse and all these, reminders or remember this day. Because, like, I look at my social media page more than anybody else's because I just enjoy what we've been able to do as a couple, as a family, even just this past weekend. Like, I just enjoy my life with my family and my friends, and I like to capture those moments, and I could care what anybody else thinks about that, you know, but I like my page, so that's all that matters. I hope they does too.
Unpopular belief: never go to bed angry is actually bad advice.
So when we're arguing, like, I am so, like, I'm restless on a good night, but it's, like, just magnified. Like, I'll doze off, feel like I've slept for a year, wake up, it's only been 10 minutes, and it'll go on the entire night because I can't rest. Because I'm wondering what he's thinking, how he's going to be towards me, am I going to talk to him? Like, there's just all these thoughts. Like, I can't turn my mind off ever. But, like, if we're arguing, like, I don't want to fake makeup because then I think it's fake. You know what I mean? Like, then the next day, like, you don't get a phone call. Like, then you're like, oh, my God, why didn't he call? Why didn't he? When on a regular day, if he didn't call, I'd be like, oh, we probably have 50,000 meetings, or, you know, we're playing phone tag, or he was busy, or whatever. I don't think you should go to bed angry, but on the flip side of that, I feel like, for me, I need time to process. Like, I don't need a bunch of aggression and conflict. Like, I just need time to process, because I always feel like I'm so stunned by everything. Not just with us. Like, I'll hear, like, this piece of news at, like, work, and I'll be slack-jawed. Like, I'm not sure why I'm so shocked, but, like, I feel like I'm always just so caught off guard by stuff. So I feel like, not, yes, go to bed angry, but I don't feel like you should approach a resolution to an argument until tempers have cooled. Because I think it could sometimes be made worse. Like, if you got all night to sit up and process, like, do it. But I mean, I'm going to be like this the whole time.
You're
like,
going to have to make a decision quick. Meg, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to bed angry?
I'm sure I have.
More times than not?
Probably.
Yeah. I would probably say the same. Have you ever faked it? Like you weren't angry?
I don't think I'm that.
Yeah.
Good at fake it.
You show your emotions pretty thoroughly.
What I would do, like, let's say one of us was sleeping upstairs, another one was sleeping downstairs, I would sit down here and talk to myself about him. Well,
what would you say?
Not like, I mean, I'm not married to somebody else.
What were some of the things you would say about me?
This is a family show.
This is a family show?
This is a family show. Like, I will literally, like, have conversations. And this is why I say sometimes, like, it would benefit people to process, because the more time you have to sit with it while you're watching Cold Case at 3 o'clock in the morning because you can't go to sleep, the more things you think, well, wait, why would this be the case? Or how come I didn't say that? Or why would he think this? Like, I think you just have time to, like, process. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's, like, what's going through my mind that's keeping me awake.
But you actually be talking to yourself.
I can't say, yep. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm going to have to sneak up and hear what you're saying about me.
You said you heard me talk in my sleep.
Yeah, you do be talking in your sleep, but that's different from you making a conscious effort to come down here and yell things.
I don't yell.
Well, they probably need to be yelled. I would say that whole thing about unpopular beliefs, never go to bed angry, being bad advice, like that comes from the Bible scripture that says, be angry and sin not, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. And that scripture means to deal with your emotion immediately. And people take that verse so literally, right? Where they're going to sleep with all other kind of issues besides being angry, and they're not working on that. But they're going to not go to bed angry, and that be the one thing. But it's about dealing with your emotion so it doesn't cause you to sin. Because all emotions will make you do things you wouldn't do that are bad decisions. So that really is saying, hey, don't stay in an emotive state long enough to where you do something that you would regret. And so that's what that means. So I wouldn't say it's bad advice, because, you know, we talk in parables and metaphors and analogies. So, but I would say it does not mean, hey, like literally make up real quick before you go to sleep. Like, you don't want to go to sleep with anything damning on your soul or heart. So, yeah, I guess it's bad advice. Unless you understand the scripture thoroughly.
Unpopular belief, you had no idea what you were actually promising on your wedding day.
I don't think anyone has any idea what they're promising on their wedding day. There's these vows, these generic vows, and sometimes people just write their own vows.
I like that better, though.
We didn't do that.
Because if you're reading generic vows, how much do they really mean to you? But
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're just used to, like, it's just habit. Like, you've watched it on movies, you've been to other weddings, you've heard these things said.
You can almost quote it.
But I don't think anyone, what did you used to say? Like, it's different after you get married. Like, we could have been dating for, which we didn't date for a long time before we got married.
I knew what I wanted.
But you could date for 5 years, be engaged for 5 years, get married, and something after that I do changes. That's his thought. I don't know that I believe that, but I don't think everyone, like, everything becomes real. Like, you really do become, if you're doing it the way that society would view as the right way, I don't want to say what's right or wrong, you really do become, like, one person. So I think that, like, just with, like, your finances, your responsibilities, like, if you have children, like, it's now, like, a group thing. It's not like, oh, I feel like I should be doing it. Like, now we should be doing it together. We should be better together. And I don't think people really, truly grasp that when they're saying I do. Like, it's all, you know, let's have this wedding, let's have this reception, let's have this honeymoon, let's buy a house, let's have kids, let's get a dog. And then, like, reality hits. And I just remember, like, when we were apart, like, I remember one of my family members saying, like, you guys were just playing house. Like, you weren't in America, you were just playing house. And that's, I mean, when you think about what was going on with us during those years at that time, like, that truly is what it was. Like, and I don't think people really realize the full weight of what they're committing to when they say I do.
I feel like before you're married, that's when you really be playing house. And then, like you said, when you get married, it just becomes real. But I really don't think people do know what they're getting into when they get married. And I don't think that should be a cop-out either. Because just like those things you name, having a baby, you don't really know what you're getting into when you're getting a dog. You don't really know what you're getting into when you going to college. You don't really know what you're getting into when you sign, but you do it anyway, and you keep the dog, you finish the college degree, in most cases. I mean, so even though you don't know the completeness of what you're getting to, when you get married, that's most of what your vows are. It's saying that I love this person. I'm marrying them because I love them. And part of my love, my unconditional love, my supposed unconditional love, is that the things I don't understand now, she loves me and I love her enough that we can work through those things together. And they will not tear apart what God has put together. Because if we're together and we married each other and we made these vows and we stay true to them, you can conquer anything. I truly believe you can conquer anything. So that's why we said, hey, we think therapy should be required before marriage, because there's just so much, there's still things we're learning at this moment.
He just recently discovered that I like steak, that I chocolate cake.
Oh my goodness, who did I marry?
Pineapple upside down. It's like we've never met.
I think you're making up stuff as we go.
No. See, what I did as a sign of solidarity, I stopped enjoying some of the things that I enjoyed because he didn't enjoy them.
You still eat pepperoni pizza.
I'll put sausage on it.
You will. That's why I love you. Because
I'm very accommodating.
You adapt.
I'm a very accommodating.
Although I think I've done more adapt.
Unpopular belief: unconditional love in a marriage is a myth, and believing in it sets you up to get hurt.
I feel like whether people believe it or not, they love with condition. Like, I mean, even if it's something that is ridiculous, like, I love you as long as you never cheat on me. I mean, obviously, like, he shouldn't be cheating on me, but that's, like, the extreme condition. But I feel like people do love with condition, whether they mean to or not, whether they realize it or not. Like, I'll love you as long as you don't fill in the blank. Like, I feel like people do that.
I don't know if that's love, though.
I don't know.
We've had this conversation, and I will say this. And I love Jackie like you wouldn't believe. Like, I would say I have unconditional love. So, for the unpopular belief, I don't believe it's a myth. And so, if Jackie did something to hurt me, that doesn't mean I stopped loving her. I may not be able to be with her anymore, but the act or whatever she did, let's say, you murdered somebody. I'm scared.
It seems like something I would be happy.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be like, oh, she murdered somebody. All my love is gone. I care to never see her again.
He's just that dramatic that I could see him saying those exact words. Then Maddie would be annoyed.
But you feel where I'm coming from? Like, if you really love a person, they may do something to hurt you. That doesn't mean you stop loving them. But it does mean maybe you need to distance yourself from them. So I don't want people in bad relationships right now to stay in them because I said unconditional love never goes away. I'm saying that if you really love a person, something they do to you or to someone else, is a reflection of who they are and not your love for them. Unpopular beliefs. That's what we have. We hope you all listen to those unpopular beliefs. Tell us your thoughts. Put it in the comments. Subscribe. Go to the website. Leave us a message. Limitless Livin.
Without the G.
.com. Limitless Livin without the G. Season 2, episode 4.
Yes.
We are out.
We are Limitless Living.
Remember, in marriage, you can live, love, and laugh limitlessly.